Hello everybody, welcome back to From Rhythm to Algorithm. We continue on with our derivation. We have a direct iteration. It is not reduced, but we're almost done, I think. But what does sensorality stabilize? So continuing on, and I'll take you through the direct iteration steps. Again, they're just like any other steps, but it is definitely a direct iteration, and we are almost done, but it is not done. What is tension to confusion? Tension decompresses. Tension creates pressure. Sensorality is decompression. What is algorithmicality to energeticality? All right. Do algorithms have the potential for movement? Movement is change, change is differentiation, and then we can state a fundamental theorem. Could be physics, could be everything, it doesn't really matter. It's trying to show you some progression, but movement is change, change is differentiation, movement differentiates position. Right? What is velocity? A change of position over some amount of time. So we have to logically break down change. Right? Change is differentiation, and so movement differentiates position. So we've removed time from that entirely. Speciality in senses. In senses is sense. Once again, direct iteration. Environment is habitat. Fundamental theorem of linguistics. Grammarality is symmetricality. Grammarality is regularity. And that is where you get the forms, all of our verbs are regular or irregular. And then all of the words that you conjugate most often are irregular verbs. Right? It's a form of differentiation. Inhabitability is habitationality. Sensorality, habits. A habit is a routine. Sensorality, betweens. Tween, teens, tense. And that's, again, between, in between, as a natural native English speaker. Logically, functionally, when do I use those differently? In between and between, kind of interchangeably, like at a practical direct usage. But now we can restate the fundamental theorem of life. Being is. It is what it is. What is it? It is being. Being is, life is being. And linguistically, and logically, very natural, you say being, right? I'm a living being. I'm a human being too. When you're referencing life for an it, you say being. Habituality, capitulate. Sensorality capitulates. Sensorality captivates. Sensorality is captivating. Sensorality is the good kind of sore. You go to the gym, yeah, did chest today, the only muscle group, the only real muscle group. And so it's like, are you injured? No, I'm sore. Oh, it's the good kind of sore. Sensorality is the good kind of sore. What is soreness to orality? Logically separating sensorality, soreness, and orality. Could make a joke, right? Jen was oral, Brad was sore. What occurred? Respond in 3 to 5 paragraphs. Dispersion, desperation. Sensorality is desperation. Sensorality is separation, desperation. Brad, that sounds a lot like separation anxiety. Yeah, but anxiety is not a well-defined word, and separation, desperation rhymes, and the linguistical structure is really similar. So therefore, logical substitution. Sensorality is separation, desperation. Again, the actual progression of these steps, it's containing the syllability, like the chunks of letters when I'm telling you, this A has the same exact pronunciation, the same sound represented by the same letter. This is like the packaging as to where these different letters come from, when there's no differentiation of the shape or the sound. But now, right, last time we related, what's the difference between energy and tension? Energy, movement potential. Energy, the capacity to do work. Tension, a state of separation from equilibrium, the potential for movement. But then again, you say potential. It's like tension, tendency. Tension itself is like this linguistic variable, like reality is. Prefix, suffix, doesn't have a base word. But we say tension, 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 physically well-defined, physically exist. Linguistically, that word is like why you say a tendency, right? Speciality, a tendency to differentiate for sexual antagonism. Tension, but it's just, again, this discrepancy describes the ability, removal from equilibrium. And so we had energy, the capacity for movement, tension, also the capacity for movement. And so, fundamental theorem of physics slang, sensorality is energy tension. The end. But now we get to the question, what does sensorality stabilize? Energy sensorizes tension. Energy sanitizes tension. And the sensorize and the sanitize being direct iterations, and then logically calming down a room, right? You have cooler heads prevail, connecting a cliche, right? People are all panicking, oh, it's 1929, do I sell my stocks? What do I do? What do I do? I'm Charles Mitchell, I'm going to buy some more, right? You show confidence. You show calmness. But that's what I mean logically by energy sensorizes tension. Positive energy calms down bad energy. Good vibes only. And then a direct iteration of the linguistics of sensorizes, sanitizes. And that's a very natural use. We've covered it several times throughout this derivation. But when people say, sanitize the information, you wipe the servers clean, is the direct reference we've used. But it's a direct iteration, right? We've related energy and tension with our variable. Sensorality stabilizes energy and tension. Sensorization is limitation. Sensation, limitation. Limitation is imitation, right? That's a natural definition. What is imitation to iteration? Because now we're at this irreducibility of word. Iteration is well defined, and it's based on it. So you can't reduce it anymore past its empirical meaning. But you can iterate it, again, like the function, like logically. Imitation, iteration. Imitate, mitigate. Sensorality mitigates. And then we're back to, again, this logic, this direct, what is a gate? G-A-T-E, right? It's the sensor. But we have now introduced mitigate, extending our logical definition to lessen. Mitigation lessens, limitation lessens. Logically reducing those words. Lessen, and then we iterate the E from lesson, L-E-S-S-E-N-S, to an O. Lessons, like teaching lessons. Sensorality is lessonality. And that is a natural definition of sensorality. Right? We can see in the geometric relationship of the R to the N, sensorality is lessonality. Sorality is sonality. We've just shown that logically. We've bridged that to a new word. Lessonality, logically, is well defined. Right? To be a lesson, right? Sit down and have some lessons on Brad's science progressions. But it's a natural definition. I just have an ancillary question that popped up. What is the direction of iteration? Kind of, again, just more movement only happens on this tension path. Not super relevant to the direct iteration progression, but a question that popped up. Again, showing you any step that arises. But now, right, literal is iteral. And that is a direct natural definition as well. But even we can break that down now. Naturally defined, iteral or literal, again, functionally you iterate that with the symbols, the letters, iteral, natural, right? Literal, natural. So natural is literal. Literal or natural is iteral. Nature iterates. That's me. Hey, I'm Brad. I'm an iteration of life. Look at me. And so, again, we can pair that up, again, just directly with our variable now. Sensorality is it-orality. And then we iterate our letters, our symbols, our shapes, right? Sensorality, that's where a C comes into play. All right, that's why we proved our spelling, because it's the direct natural definition of sensorality with a C. Sensorality is it-orality. And now you can see it's in the form, it is what it is. And so again, the final reduction should be pretty soon, but That is as direct as you can be to solving all of science syllable by syllable, symbol by symbol, letter by letter. We're almost done. My rights continue to be violated. I don't want to do one more step. Put 2 zeros on my trading account right now. It is my money. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 8 of the United States Constitution remains violated. The Fifth Amendment remains violated. That's the most important part. The just compensation for private property used for public, where I can just turn on a video and everyone's using my diction. Clearly, certainly within the academic structure and certainly within law enforcement. But does the law actually matter? No, I've already done this process. This will be this will be the completion publicly of the second time. You couldn't even start doing this unless you've, again, up into the point of words are irreducible. The irreducibility aspect, again, I directly said it in this derivation, completely done when I was 7 years old. And then just the ability to sit down and, again, it's a demonstration of a physical limit. It takes this amount of time to get through all of the logic. And so you tortured a child. Good job. It's really inspiring stuff. And I just want my money. That's all I want. But that is a direct iteration of sensorality into common diction. We just need to reduce it. That will be the wham bam, hit 'em home moment of, again, reducing the linguistics. Because again, we directly iterated the concept and the definition, and now we just have to have the quote unquote proof, which it is a proof, but again, look at how much proofing we've already done to reduce the linguistics, the actual letters. Sensorality is it orality. And that will something, we're getting there. We're almost done. That's what I have for today. Thank you, or for now. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.